Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? My name is Kali. A lot of people call me King Kali, but you could call me Kali for now. And this is my very first, attempt creation at my own video series. A lot of people have been begging me to start my own podcast, to start my own video series, and I've been considering it a lot. And, my own kind of psyche just wants me to just wait for the magnificent studio with the magnificent microphone and have all the right co-hosts and people to work with. But what I've learned is that sometimes you just have to continue punching greatness in the face. And that's something that I have to work on. But you know what? I'm brave enough. I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning about how to create these kind of content. So this is, a really good day for me to try something new, and we're going to work on it and we're going to build. But of course, you got to punch greatness in the face. So what we're going to call this series is called Something to Think About. And the reason why I want to call it Something to Think About is because I think a lot. And a lot of times I project what I think to my friends all the time to start conversations, because the way my mind works is very, very layered. And I definitely like to, dissect certain things a lot. But I want to definitely find ways to converse whatever I think and articulate it in a certain way that people themselves can resonate with and, learn from and, obviously respond with positive and constructive feedback, so we could keep up these kind of conversations that could help people. So yes, this is something to think about. Now, first off, today's Mother's Day. Had a good day. Messaged my mom, gave a gift to my grandmother. I did my own thing for Mother's Day. But since we're starting this series off, I want to talk to you about something that I think a lot of people should learn from. And what it is the song Dear Mama by 2Pac. For those who don't know, 2Pac was one of the most influential American rappers of all time. His prime was in the 90s. Most people know of him because of the imagery, black man with a bandana, tattoos, thug life, East and West Coast beef, the Notorious B.I.G., the craziness in the 90s, both 2Pac and the Notorious B.I.G. getting assassinated. I think it's been pretty much popularized throughout American history right now, so we don't really need to go further into that. But today I want to talk about one of 2Pac's most famous and notorious songs of all time, which is called Dear Mama. Dear Mama is one of those songs that if you haven't heard by now, something's wrong with you. But what Dear Mama is, it's a poetic song, a song with melodies, a chorus, and it's a song that 2Pac wrote that he performs to show appreciation to his mother. Literally, one of the main lyrics in the song is, "There's no way I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated." And this song, Dear Mama, it's constantly playing on the radio. But every Mother's Day, when you listen to the radio, that song is coming on. And that comes on the rap stations or even on the R&B stations, the oldie but goodie stations, the stations that play the more contemporary work. Everybody loves Dear Mama. Dear Mama is a very, very, very powerful song. It's definitely one of my favorite 2Pac songs. But I think what makes Dear Mama such a great song isn't not necessarily about why it's a man rapping about his love for his mother, even though that is a strong reason. But I think what makes 2Pac's Dear Mama such a very, very powerful song is the fact that it's a revealing song. It's an introspective song. It's a song with a message. It's powerful. It's relatable. It's eye-opening. It's autobiographical. It has a spirit that is very, very warming for people. So it's not just about, a young man making a song about his mom, but it's also about the mother's struggles, about what his mother had to do to raise him and his sister. One of the most famous lines in that song is, Even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. And that line represents so much because, yes, there's the element of Tupac's mother. She was a Black Panther. She, rebelled against the government. She faced multiple trials and acquitted herself. You should look up her life story, Afeni Shakur. It's amazing. And of course, being acquitted on multiple charges, being pregnant with Tupac in jail, being acquitted, and then living a life to raise Tupac and his half sister in the free world, but dealing with poverty and, of course, systemic oppression, resulted that she dabbled with drugs, and it resulted in maybe a lot of the traumas that Tupac and his sister may have faced as they rose to adulthood. So there's that element, but it's not just about the crack fiend black queen, which is a great rhyme scheme, but I also think it's the crack fiend part is relatable to even people who've never experienced that kind of life, which is just, our parents, they have their own flaws too. Our families, they're not perfect. People in our family, they had their own traumas, their own difficulties to deal with, their own obstacles to help raise us. And I think one of the things that make Tupac's Dear Mama such a cool song and relatable song is the fact that Tupac was able to expose something that may have been really personal and private about his mom and his family and himself, but present it in such a way that something like, even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama, and there's no way I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that you understand, you are appreciated. Or there's no way that I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated. Let me get the inflections correctly, Let me get the emotions correctly, because that song has a lot of emotion, a lot of power behind it. The song is just genuinely a song that has so much to offer, and the lyrics are great, and the song just makes people appreciate how valuable life is. And the reason why I really wanted to make this video is that I want people to learn from that song. And whatever you do, especially if you're an artist, whether you're a rapper, singer, but if you're an actor, a painter, whatever the case is, when it comes to making art and creating, you want to have an element or expose something about yourself that is the driving force of why you do the things that you do. And that's really, really hard because a lot of people don't want to reveal themselves, And I'm not saying that you have to reveal everything and, make a whole dictionary worth of of content just to explain your life story or something crazy. But something simple, something poetic, something that gives people a taste into who you are will last for generations. The song Dear Mama has many accolades. It sold a lot of records, but it's not the accolades that define how great the song is. It really is just about, how relatable, how powerful, how insightful, how introspective, how spirited the song is and how it makes people feel. And that can just transcend generations. And that's why people play that song all the time, especially during Mother's Day. And for people to, think about that in your own work, because everybody wants to have a hot song in the club. Everybody wants to, have a voice that transcends the stadiums and, goes as far as it can. But if you speak from a position of vulnerability, I think, you'll relate to people and connect to people in a very, very strong way that accolades don't really matter as much because your intention is that strong. And these are things for people to think about. And I want to continue developing this story and developing this perspective even more because I definitely want people who are making art, but even people who are writing or, historians or anything, I would love for people to use this message of, hey, let me show a little human side to who I am. That way, whenever I do something or present something, you know it's coming from a genuine place, which is really, really difficult. But, this is something that I think we all should practice. Not saying that you have to expose everything about yourself, but, give a little bit more of a human side to who you are. It could go a long way. So thank you, everybody. Once again, my name is Kili. This is just the beginning, a Mother's Day special. If you haven't heard the song, Dear Mama, you're missing out. Go check it out. This is definitely a pilot for something great. So something to think about, episode 1. And, like, comment, subscribe, give me some constructive feedback. And as I build, I definitely want to go back into a lot of these themes and a lot of these topics we're talking about and develop it some more. Anyway, thank you, and I hope you enjoy your day.